It's Natalie, Shameless Flame. Welcome to my channel. This week I have been prepping for the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. So naturally I have a ton of stuff to do. A ton. So I've filmed it and I'm going to show it to you. It's not going to be that exciting. Maybe it will be. I don't know. But you get to see everything that I do to prep for shows. Let's go. So I get out my little common book here and just sketch out how I want it to look based upon old vendor tables and things like that. Give myself an idea. Makes me feel better. And my mother-in-law just got me this chalkboard thing, and I figured I'd write my prices on it because even though I use separate price tags, people still ask me all the time, so maybe this will help. I don't know. This was a real pain in the ass too, by the way. I had to erase this so many times, and I still don't really love the way it looks, but it'll do, right? So what I'm doing is just basically bringing out each print that I already had in there and deciding which ones that I want to take to this particular show and just taking stock of everything, making sure that I have enough to fill every print rack that I have, make sure that I have enough volume to bring with me since these shows are so big, and, you know, just getting a feel for the designs, and I just like everything laid out. I have a few new ones in here, some things from my Substack, some popular oldies but goodies, you know, all that fun stuff. So, just packing prints. Wanted to show you the process of that. I get all of my supplies for this on a place called clearbags.com. They have the single backer things that make it so that the prints don't get bent and they display much nicer. I know a lot of people don't do it that way, but I prefer it. I hate all the plastic, but it just makes everything look so much better and more professional, so I take the sacrifice. Packing these notepads in plastic while watching a video with Robin Wall-Kimmerer that wrote Braiding Sweetgrass feels really hypocritical of me. I'm sorry, Robin. But yet again, I don't know a better way to display these. I know you can use cardboard sleeves essentially, but I haven't cracked the code on that just yet. So this is how I pack my notepads. And here is everything packed away in my little bin. All my prints, all my notepads, and notebooks, and that sign. Now we're just gonna work on some stickers. I store all my stickers, as you can see, in this old wooden display. It actually used to be from a hotel where they kept all the keys, so like some of the numbers from the room numbers are still on it, which is kind of cool. I just really like to be scrappy with the things that I use to display because it saves money and, you know, it kind of makes me feel better about using so much plastic otherwise. As sustainable as I can be, I try to do that. On to bookmarks. Sorry about the shaky video. It's really hard to film and pick up bookmarks at the same time. Who thought? But yeah, those are all the bookmarks that I'm offering right now. Mothman, Bigfoot, Loveland Frogman. A lot more popular than I thought they would be. Pretty cool. And that's where I put all my stickers in this little plastic bin. Yet again, one that I just had sitting around the house. I didn't go out and buy a special new one because that would be silly. And, you know, that's kind of what you have to do when you're running an art business like this. You gotta be as scrappy as possible. Save money when you can. You don't have to have, like, the best of everything. If it stores your stuff and gets you back and forth to shows, then that's good enough. Bandanas! Yay! Folding them is a tedious process, but it's worth it because I like them to look nice and neat. I get these all printed at a place called Pine Brand out of Colorado. They do a great job, and they're really nice to deal with, so I highly recommend them if you want to get bandanas made. Wow, cats, they really like to get right in the middle of it, don't they? If you ever get something for me and you have little orange hairs on it, it's from Gordon. That's Gordon. He loves me very much. He's annoying, but he's my buddy. Smooches. T-shirt time. I get all these made locally by a friend of mine that I actually used to work with when I was in the corporate world. He's doing screen prints now. I'm a full-time artist, so that's what corporate America will do to you. But these are really, really nice shirts. They're all screen printed. I normally do a direct garment type shirt, but I'm over it with the tariffs and the prices going up and stuff. I figure supporting friends and more locally is a better deal. And what I got, I have this old drawer. I'm going to paint the inside of it with my name, like my business name, payment information, stuff like that. And I'm going to use it as a display up against my grid walls at the show too, because when you're walking around at these shows, tables on the end, sometimes it's hard to see like people's names and stuff, especially when it gets really busy. So this is just like an extra way to have some signage and to recycle and use stuff. Cool. The reason that I'm harping so much on recycling and reusing stuff and not spending money when you don't need to, I mean, it's obvious, but this is not an easy job. It's not always the most lucrative job. Sometimes it's amazing, but it's best for you and your mental well-being and the well-being of your wallet to save money whenever you can. So don't think that you need to go out and buy all the biggest and best stuff, and work with what you got. I don't have a ton of space in my car, so I always have to be really creative in how I do my table setups. Like, I know a lot of people have these huge displays and they go spend all this money and they have tons of tables and signage and all this stuff. And you know what? I do get jealous of it. I do compare myself to it. But at the end of the day, I'm doing things my way and I'm adapting the best of my ability. And I feel like it gives me more longevity because I'm not rigid. I'm not stuck in a certain way of doing things. So I'm always trying new things. And you should too. Finished sign. Looks pretty good, eh? I think so. So now I'm going to just go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about, show you some examples of past tables and what I'm hoping this setup will end up looking like. So this first one here was an outdoor show, and it was a 10 by 10 space under a 10 by 10 tent. I'm basing a lot of what I'm doing on this layout, just not as chintzy. So you can see that I use the grid walls, which they're just the little square ones that you put together that I got online. They're not like big boys. And I'll be taking some discontinued prints and other originals that I've matted and hang them on there. And on the back part will be a 6-foot table that has my 2 wire grids that I put all prints on and my wooden sticker display, plus another wooden print display. And then of course on the other side I'll put up my clothing rack and I'll put down my little rug to tie it all together. Because you and I both know that rugs really tie a room together. Oh, during the show I'll probably film a little reel or a short here on YouTube and show you guys what the finished product looks like, and maybe just walk around and show you what the show looks like too. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody has a super day. Bye.